So, let us begin our ascent, starting with number 20, and work our way towards the undisputed sovereign of the skies. Our journey begins with a true classic of the jet age, the Lockheed L-1011 TriStar. First taking to the skies in 1970, the TriStar was a marvel of its time, a wide-body tri-jet airliner designed to ferry passengers across the globe in unparalleled comfort and safety. It was born from a fierce competition to dominate the burgeoning market for high-capacity long-range air travel. Its most distinctive feature, of course, was its three-engine layout, with two engines mounted on pylons beneath the wings, and a third central engine ingeniously integrated into the tail through an S-shaped duct. This design was not merely aesthetic, it was a complex engineering solution that contributed to the aircraft's remarkable quietness and stability in flight. The TriStar was a pioneer of technology. It was the first wide-body jet to receive certification for fully automatic landings in zero visibility conditions, a system so advanced that pilots reported it could perform smoother touchdowns than they could. Inside its cavernous cabin, passengers were treated to a sense of space and luxury, with features like lower-deck galleys and lounges that were revolutionary for their time. Airlines such as TWA, Eastern Airlines, and Delta operated large fleets, and the TriStar became a familiar and beloved sight at airports worldwide. Its gentle, curving lines and that unique S-duct tail made it one of the most elegant aerial giants ever built. Despite its technological prowess and popularity with crews and passengers, the TriStar faced immense commercial challenges. Delays with its Rolls-Royce RB211 engines put it at a disadvantage against its main rival, the McDonnell Douglas DC-10. Although over 250 were built, production ceased in 1984. Today very few remain in service, mostly converted for specialized roles, yet the L-1011 TriStar holds its place in history as a technologically brilliant, if commercially bittersweet titan of the sky, a graceful giant that set new standards for what a passenger airliner could be. At number 19, we encounter a true long-distance runner of the skies, the Airbus A340-600. When it was introduced in the early 2000s, it held the title of the world's longest passenger airliner, stretching over 75 meters from nose to tail, longer than the wingspan of many other large jets. This extraordinary length was its defining characteristic, a slender, elegant fuselage powered by four robust engines. The four-engine design was a hallmark of the A340 family, chosen specifically for its reliability on long-haul over-water routes, a philosophy that gave airlines great flexibility in route planning during an era when twin-engine aircraft faced stricter operational limits. The A340-600 was designed to compete directly with the Boeing 747, offering similar capacity, but with a more modern design and improved fuel efficiency per seat. It could carry around 370 passengers in a typical three-class configuration over vast distances, connecting cities like Frankfurt to Buenos Aires, or London to Singapore with ease. Airlines such as Lufthansa, Virgin Atlantic, and Iberia became key operators, appreciating its immense range and cargo-carrying capabilities. The underfloor cargo hold was voluminous, allowing airlines to transport significant amounts of freight in addition to a full load of passengers and their luggage. However, the very feature that made the A340 a dependable ocean crosser, its four engines, eventually became its undoing. As engine technology advanced, twin-jet aircraft like the Boeing 777 and later, the Airbus A350 became more powerful and reliable, and crucially, far more fuel-efficient. The rising cost of fuel in the mid-2000s made operating a four-engine jet an expensive proposition. Production of the A340 family ceased in 2011. While many have now been retired, the A340-600 remains a magnificent sight, a graceful giant that represents the pinnacle of four-engine passenger jet design before the dawn of the super-efficient twin jets. We now shift from the civilian world to the military domain with our 18th entry, the McDonnell Douglas KC-10 extender. At first glance it may resemble its passenger-carrying sibling the DC-10, but the KC-10 is a creature of a very different purpose. It is a flying gas station, a strategic air-to-air refueling tanker that serves as a lifeline for military aircraft, dramatically extending their range and operational capabilities. Based on the DC-1030CF convertible freighter model, the KC-10 was developed for the United States Air Force to supplement, and improve upon, the capabilities of the smaller KC-135 Stratotanker. The extender's primary mission is aerial refueling, and it is exceptionally good at it. It can carry an astonishing 160,000 kilograms of jet fuel, nearly double that of the KC-135. It is equipped with two distinct refueling systems. The most prominent is the Advanced Aerial Refueling Boom, a rigid, fly-by-wire controlled arm extending from the rear of the aircraft, used to refuel aircraft with compatible receptacles like fighters and bombers. In addition, it features a hose and drogue system, allowing it to refuel aircraft from the US Navy, Marine Corps, and many NATO allies. This dual capability makes the KC-10 an incredibly versatile asset in joint military operations. But the KC-10 is more than just a tanker. Its designation, KC, signifies that it is both a tanker, K, and a cargo aircraft, C. The vast main deck can be configured to carry up to 75 personnel and their equipment, or 27 pallets of cargo. This unique combination means a single KC-10 can deploy a fighter squadron, along with its support personnel and equipment, to a forward operating base, refueling the fighters en route. For over 4 decades, the KC-10 has been a cornerstone of American air power, a silent enabler of global reach, proving that sometimes the most powerful giants are the ones that help others fly farther. Returning to the world of commercial aviation, we find the Boeing 767-400ER at number 17. This aircraft is a fascinating example of evolutionary design, a stretched and enhanced version of the highly successful Boeing 767 family. It was developed in the late 1990s as a replacement for aging fleets of DC-10 and L-1011 TriStar aircraft, offering airlines a modern twin-engine alternative with similar capacity. To achieve this, Boeing stretched the fuselage of the 767-300 by over 6.4 meters, creating a noticeably longer and more slender profile. This increase in length allowed the 400ER to typically seat around 245 passengers in a 3-class layout, placing it in a unique market niche between the smaller 767-300 and the much larger 777-200. To support the longer fuselage and increased weight, the aircraft was fitted with new raked wingtips, which extended the wingspan by nearly 5 meters. These wingtips were not just for show. They significantly improved aerodynamic efficiency, reducing drag and improving takeoff performance and fuel burn. It also inherited the modern cockpit of the 777, featuring large LCD screens that made it a technological bridge between 2 generations of Boeing aircraft. The 767-400ER found a dedicated but small customer base, with Delta Airlines and Continental Airlines, now part of United Airlines, being the sole purchasers. They valued its size and efficiency on high-density domestic routes, such as across the United States, and on transatlantic flights. While only 38 were ever built, the 400ER has served its operators reliably for over 2 decades. It stands as a testament to the adaptability of a great airframe, a specialized giant born from the need to fill a very specific gap in the market, and a visually distinctive member of the venerable 767 family. We now journey back to the Soviet era to meet our 16th contender, the Antonov An-12. Known by its NATO reporting name Cub, this 4-engine turboprop transport aircraft is a true workhorse of the sky. First flown in 1957, it was the Soviet Union's answer to the American Lockheed C-130 Hercules, and it fulfilled a remarkably similar role with rugged dependability. For decades, the An-12 formed the backbone of the Soviet military's airlift capability. Designed to operate from the most austere and unprepared airfields across the vast, challenging landscapes of the USSR and its allies, the An-12's design is purely functional. It features a high-wing configuration, which keeps the powerful Ivchenko AI-20 turboprop engines and their large propellers clear of ground debris. The rear of the fuselage is dominated by a large loading ramp, allowing for the easy loading of troops, vehicles, and palletized cargo. A unique and somewhat menacing feature is the tail gunner's turret, a remnant of its military design, though this is often removed on the many civilian versions of the aircraft that now fly. Its robust landing gear and powerful engines gave it exceptional short-field performance, a vital trait for its intended mission. Over 1,200 An-12s were built, and their service life has been extraordinarily long. After the collapse of the Soviet Union, Hundreds of these aircraft found a new lease on life with civilian cargo operators, particularly in Africa, the Middle East, and Eastern Europe. They became the go-to aircraft for moving heavy and outsized cargo to remote and difficult-to-reach locations, a job they continue to perform to this day. The Antonov An-12 may lack the grace of a modern jetliner, but it is a giant defined by its sheer resilience and utility, a tough, enduring transporter that has been hauling the world's heavy goods for over 60 years. At number 15, we have another icon of military airlift, the Lockheed C-141 Starlifter. This was the United States Air Force's first jet-powered strategic airlifter, a revolutionary aircraft that transformed the speed and reach of military logistics. Entering service in 1965, the Starlifter was designed from the outset to be a pure, long-range transport. Its swept wings and four powerful Pratt & Whitney TF-33 turbofan engines gave it the speed of a jetliner, while its cavernous cargo hold was sized to carry a wide array of military equipment, including the new M551 Sheridan light tank, or over 150 fully equipped troops. The C-141 was a key player in virtually every major American military operation for nearly 4 decades. Its most famous and perhaps most poignant mission was Operation Homecoming at the end of the Vietnam War, where C-141s were used to repatriate American prisoners of war. The image of these men stepping off the Starlifter's ramp onto American soil is etched into the nation's memory. The aircraft's original design, however, had a flaw. It often bulked out before it grossed out, meaning its cargo bay would be full before the aircraft reached its maximum takeoff weight. The solution was elegant and ambitious. In the late 1970s, the Air Force initiated the Stretch program. The entire fleet of C-141s was systematically cut in two, and a 7.1-meter fuselage plug was inserted, creating the C-141B. This single modification increased the aircraft's cargo volume by 1/3. At the same time, an in-flight refueling receptacle was added above the cockpit, giving the Starlifter a virtually unlimited global range. The C-141 served with distinction until its retirement in 2006, a true giant of the Cold War that set the standard for jet-powered military transport for generations to come. Our 14th entry is a machine of terrifying beauty and immense power, the Tupolev Tu-160, known to NATO as the Blackjack. This is a supersonic variable sweep wing strategic bomber, the largest and heaviest combat aircraft, the fastest bomber, and the largest and heaviest swing-wing aircraft ever flown. It really stands as the pinnacle of Soviet-era bomber design, a breathtaking blend of graceful lines and brutal capability. First flown in 1981, the Tu-160 was the Soviet Union's response to the American B-1 Lancer program, and honestly, in many respects, it surpassed its rival in terms of speed, range, and payload. The Blackjack's most impressive feature is its variable geometry wings. For takeoff, landing, and low-speed flight, the wings are swept forward to provide maximum lift. As the aircraft accelerates towards its top speed of over Mach 2, the wings sweep back, creating a sleek, delta-like planform that minimizes drag. Powering this colossal machine are 4 Kuznetsov NK321 afterburning turbofans, the most powerful engines ever fitted to a combat aircraft. They provide the Tu-160 with the thrust to outrun many of the fighter jets that might be sent to intercept it. Inside its fuselage, the Tu-160 has 2 internal weapons bays, capable of carrying a formidable arsenal of long-range cruise missiles, which can be armed with either conventional or nuclear warheads. This allows the Blackjack to strike targets from thousands of kilometers away, never needing to penetrate heavily defended enemy airspace. Production ceased with the fall of the Soviet Union, but was restarted in the 2000s for the Russian Air Force. The Tu-160, often painted in a brilliant anti-flash white, is a stark and stunning symbol of strategic air power, a white swan of death, and an undisputed giant of the military world. We now delve deep into the Cold War's dawn with the 13th aircraft on our list, the colossal Convair B-36 Peacemaker. This was the United States' first intercontinental strategic bomber, an aircraft of truly monumental proportions for its time. Conceived during World War II, but entering service in 1948, the B-36 was designed with one primary mission: to carry a nuclear payload from bases in North America to targets anywhere in the world, and return without refueling. To achieve this incredible range, it needed to be enormous. And it really was. Its wingspan of 70 meters is greater than that of a Boeing 747. The Peacemaker's propulsion system was utterly unique and a testament to the transitional era in which it was built. It was powered by 6 massive 28-cylinder Pratt & Whitney Wasp major radial piston engines, mounted in a pusher configuration on the trailing edge of the wing. This was done to improve airflow over the wing, but it made engine cooling a notorious problem. Later models were upgraded to become the B-36D, adding 4 General Electric J-47 turbojets in pods under the outer wings. This gave rise to the pilot's motto, 6 turning and 4 burning, a complex and maintenance-intensive power arrangement. The B-36 was the primary nuclear deterrent for the Strategic Air Command for much of the 1950s. Its immense bomb bay was large enough to carry the Mark 17 hydrogen bomb, the largest and heaviest nuclear weapon ever deployed by the United States. The Peacemaker was the only aircraft capable of carrying it. Though it was slow and vulnerable to the new jet fighters, its incredibly high service ceiling kept it safe for a time. Replaced by the all-jet B-52 Stratofortress, the last B-36 was retired in 1959. It remains a staggering machine, a true piston-engined leviathan from the dawn of the atomic age. Our 12th entry brings us firmly into the 21st century with the Boeing 777-9, the latest and largest member of the phenomenally successful 777 family. As part of the new 777X series, the 777-9 is a technological marvel, currently holding the title of the world's longest and largest twin-engine jet. It stretches an incredible 76.7 meters, even longer than the A340-600 we saw earlier. This immense fuselage allows it to carry over 400 passengers in a typical 2-class layout, positioning it as a highly efficient replacement for older 4-engine jumbo jets like the Boeing 747. The most groundbreaking feature of the 777-9 is its wings. They are the largest composite wings Boeing has ever produced, with a wingspan of 71.8 meters. This enormous span is key to the aircraft's aerodynamic efficiency, but it's just too wide for many standard airport gates. Boeing's ingenious solution is a set of folding wingtips. The outer 3.5 meters of each wing can be folded upwards after landing, reducing the wingspan to a more manageable 64.8 meters, allowing it to fit into the same gates as older 777s. This is the first time such a feature has been implemented on a commercial airliner. Powering this giant are the largest and most powerful commercial jet engines ever built, the General Electric GE 9X. The fan of just one of these engines is as wide as the fuselage of a Boeing 737. These engines, combined with the advanced composite wings, make the 777-9 remarkably fuel-efficient for its size. Although its entry into service has faced delays, the 777-9 represents the cutting edge of airliner technology. It's a new breed of giant, one defined not just by size but by unprecedented efficiency, promising to shape the future of long-haul air travel for decades to come. At number 11, we meet another titan of Soviet design, the Ilyushin Il-76, known to NATO as the Candid. Much like the Antonov An-12, the Il-76 is a multi-purpose strategic airlifter, but it represents a significant leap forward into the jet age. First flown in 1971, it was designed to be a heavy-duty freighter, capable of operating in the same harsh Siberian and Arctic conditions as its turboprop predecessors, but with the speed and range that only jet engines could provide. Its robust design and incredible versatility have made it one of the most successful and enduring transport aircraft ever produced. The Il-76's appearance is classic Soviet functionality, a high-mounted swept wing, T-tail, and 4 powerful Soloviev D-30 turbofan engines housed in individual pods. Its most critical feature is its immensely strong landing gear, comprising 20 wheels, which distributes the aircraft's weight and allows it to operate from unpaved or poorly prepared runways. The cargo hold is accessed by large rear clamshell doors and a loading ramp, and it is equipped with internal overhead cranes, facilitating the loading of heavy and awkward cargo without the need for specialized ground equipment. A distinctive feature is the glazed navigator's station in the nose, giving it a somewhat bird-like appearance. With almost 1,000 aircraft built, the Il-76 has been adapted for an incredible variety of roles. Beyond being a military and civilian freighter, it serves as an aerial refueling tanker, a water bomber for fighting forest fires, and a zero-gravity training craft for cosmonauts. It has been a constant presence in disaster relief operations around the world, delivering humanitarian aid to regions cut off by earthquakes, floods, and conflict. The Il-76 is a true giant of all trades, a rugged, adaptable, and omnipresent workhorse that has proven its worth in every corner of the globe. Breaking into our top 10 is a modern incarnation of an undeniable aviation legend, the Lockheed Martin LM-100J Super Hercules. This aircraft is the civilian freighter version of the C-130J Super Hercules, the latest and most advanced model in a lineage that stretches back to the 1950s. While the C-130 is a military icon, the LM-100J is purpose-built to bring that same legendary ruggedness and versatility to the commercial cargo market. It is designed to go where other cargo planes simply cannot, delivering vital supplies to the most remote and challenging environments on Earth. The Super and Super Hercules is well earned. While it shares the same classic, unmistakable shape as its predecessors, the LM-100J is a thoroughly modern machine. It is powered by 4 new Rolls-Royce AE2100 D3 turboprop engines with 6-bladed composite scimitar propellers, which provide more thrust, greater fuel efficiency, and a quieter operation. The cockpit is fully modernized with a digital glass cockpit avionics suite, reducing the flight crew requirement from 4 to 2. The cargo compartment has been stretched compared to some earlier civil models, increasing its capacity for pallets or outsized equipment. The true value of the LM-100J lies in its go-anywhere, do-anything capability. It is the perfect tool for industries like oil and gas, mining, and humanitarian aid, which often require moving heavy equipment to locations with no traditional airport infrastructure. It can take off and land on short, unprepared, or gravel runways, bringing the capabilities of a strategic airlifter to the commercial sector. The LM-100J continues a 6-decade legacy, proving that a great design can be continually updated to remain a relevant and indispensable giant in the world of air freight. At number 9, we encounter an aircraft that is truly a triumph of form following function, the Airbus Beluga XL. This extraordinary machine is not designed to carry passengers or standard cargo pallets, but to transport entire aircraft sections. Its purpose is to fly oversized components such as wings and fuselage sections of other Airbus aircraft, between the company's various manufacturing sites scattered across Europe. It is a key component in a complex logistical chain, a flying production line that is essential to building the airliners we fly on every day. Its name, Beluga, is no accident. Its shape, with the bulbous upper fuselage and lowered cockpit, bears an uncanny resemblance to the cheerful white whale. The Beluga XL is based on the airframe of the Airbus A330-200 freighter, but it has been radically modified. The entire upper section of the fuselage has been replaced with a vast, bubble-like cargo compartment, giving it the largest cross-section of any transport aircraft in the world. The cockpit has been lowered to allow the cargo door at the front to open upwards without disconnecting all the electrical, hydraulic, and flight control connections. This massive door reveals a cavernous hold, 45 meters long and 8 meters in diameter, capable of swallowing, for example, a complete pair of wings for an Airbus A350. The Beluga XL, which entered service in 2020, was developed to replace the older, smaller Beluga ST. The increase in aircraft production rates, particularly for the A350, demanded a transporter with greater capacity. The XL can carry 2 A350 wings at once, whereas its predecessor could only carry 1. It is a specialist of the highest order, a purpose-built giant whose strange and wonderful appearance is a direct result of its vital role in the ecosystem of modern aircraft manufacturing. It is, quite simply, one of the most unique and recognizable giants in the sky. Following a similar evolutionary path, our 8th entry is Boeing's answer to the oversized cargo challenge, the Boeing 747-400 large cargo freighter, more famously known as the Dreamlifter. Like the Beluga, the Dreamlifter was born out of logistical necessity. When Boeing designed the 787 Dreamliner, it implemented a global supply chain, with major components like fuselage sections and wings being built by partners in Italy and Japan. To transport these enormous structures to the final assembly line in Washington state, Boeing needed a transport aircraft of unprecedented volume. The solution was to take 4 used Boeing 747-400 passenger jets and give them a radical transformation. The entire upper fuselage of the Queen of the Skies was removed and replaced with a vastly expanded, bulging structure. But unlike the front-loading Beluga, the Dreamlifter has an even more astonishing feature: a hinged, swinging tail. The entire rear section of the aircraft, including the tail fin and stabilizers, unlatches and swings open to the side, allowing massive cargo sections to be loaded straight into the hold. It is one of the most complex and awe-inspiring engineering feats on any aircraft. With a cargo hold volume of 1,840 cubic meters, the Dreamlifter has the largest cargo hold in the world by volume, 3 times that of a standard 747 freighter. A dedicated fleet of 4 Dreamlifters operates exclusively for Boeing, crisscrossing the globe as the circulatory system of the 787 production program. Its appearance is undeniably awkward, a dramatic departure from the graceful lines of the 747 it was born from. But the Dreamlifter is a perfect example of utilitarian design, a purpose-built giant whose strange form is essential to the creation of one of the world's most advanced airliners. We now return to a classic from the Antonov Design Bureau with our 7th largest aircraft, the Antonov An-22 Anti, or Antaeus. Known to NATO as the Cock, the An-22 was, upon its introduction in 1965, the largest aircraft in the world, and it remains the largest turboprop-powered aircraft ever built. It is a true Leviathan from the height of the Cold War, designed to airlift the Soviet Union's heaviest military hardware, including main battle tanks and mobile missile launchers, into frontline, unimproved airfields. The An-22 is powered by 4 colossal Kuznetsov NK-12 turboprop engines, the same type that powers the Tu-95 Bear bomber. Each engine drives a pair of giant contra-rotating propellers, with 8 blades in total per engine. The sound these engines produce is a deafening deep roar, one of the most distinctive and powerful sounds in aviation. The aircraft features a massive cargo hold accessed by rear loading doors, and its landing gear is incredibly robust, designed to withstand the punishment of rough field operations while supporting the aircraft's immense weight. Its twin tail fins stand tall, giving it a unique and imposing silhouette. The An-22 held the title of the world's largest aircraft until the arrival of the American C-5 Galaxy. It set numerous world records for payload to height, carrying immense loads to high altitudes. While production was limited and only a handful remain in service with the Russian Air Force and a single commercial operator, the An-22 is an awe-inspiring machine. It represents the absolute zenith of heavy-lift turboprop design, a brute-force solution to the challenge of moving immense weight. It is a thundering, propeller-driven giant from a bygone era. At number 6, we meet the undisputed king of the passenger jet world, the Airbus A380. This magnificent aircraft was Airbus's audacious bid to challenge the Boeing 747's long-held monopoly on the very large airliner market. The A380 is not just large, it is a true double-decker, with 2 full-length passenger decks running the entire length of the fuselage. This unique configuration gives it the largest passenger cabin in the world, capable of seating over 500 passengers in a typical 3-class layout, and certified to carry a staggering maximum of 853 passengers in an all-economy configuration. The sheer scale of the A380 is difficult to comprehend. Its wingspan is nearly 80 meters, and its tail stands over 24 meters tall, equivalent to an 8-story building. To get this behemoth airborne requires 4 powerful and efficient engines, either the Rolls-Royce Trent 900 or the Engine Alliance GP 7200. Despite its size, the A380 is remarkably quiet, both inside and out, a testament to its advanced aerodynamic design and modern engines. For passengers, it offered a new level of comfort, with wider seats, more space, and a smoother, quieter ride. Some airlines even used the extra space to install onboard lounges and bars. The A380 was a marvel of engineering and international collaboration, with major sections built across Europe and assembled in Toulouse, France. However, the market for such a large aircraft proved to be smaller than anticipated. Airlines began to favor smaller, more efficient twin jets that offered greater route flexibility. In 2019, Airbus announced that production would end. Despite its shortened production run, the A380 remains an icon of 21st-century aviation. a super jumbo that redefined the passenger experience and will continue to grace our skies for years to come as the largest passenger airliner ever built. Entering the top 5, we have, the latest and greatest evolution of an aircraft that truly changed the world, the Boeing 747-8. For over half a century, the iconic hump of the Boeing 747 has been the symbol of long-haul travel, the original jumbo jet, and, well, the queen of the skies. The 747-8 is the culmination of this incredible legacy, the longest and most capable version of the 747 ever created. It comes in 2 variants, the 747-8 Intercontinental for passengers, and the 747-8 Freighter for cargo. The 747-8 is actually the longest commercial aircraft currently in service, stretching 76.3 meters from nose to tail. It incorporates many of the technological advances developed for the 787 Dreamliner. The wings were completely redesigned, with a brand new aerofoil and raked wingtips, making them far more efficient than any previous 747 wings. It's powered by 4 new General Electric Gen NX engines, the same family of engines used on the 787, which make the 747-8 significantly quieter, more fuel-efficient, and cleaner than any 747 before it. While the passenger version saw limited sales, the 747-8 Freighter has been a resounding success. Its unique nose cargo door, a feature of 747 freighters from the beginning, allows for the loading of extremely long and oversized items that just can't fit into other cargo aircraft. This makes it honestly invaluable for specialized logistics. The final 747, a -8 freighter, was delivered in early 2023, bringing an end to an incredible 54-year production run. The 747-8 stands as the ultimate expression of this legendary design, a fitting final chapter for the aircraft that made global air travel accessible to the masses. At number 4, we find the largest and most capable strategic airlifter in the United States Air Force fleet, the Lockheed C-5 Galaxy. For many years, this was actually the largest aircraft in the world. First flown in 1968, the C-5 was designed with a single clear purpose: to provide the U.S. military with the ability to transport massive, outsized cargo over intercontinental distances. Its capabilities are, honestly, simply staggering. It can carry 2 M1 Abrams main battle tanks or 6 Apache helicopters or 250,000 pounds of relief supplies. The design of the C-5 is entirely dictated by its mission. It features a high-mounted wing, a distinctive T-tail, and is powered by 4 large turbofan engines. Its most remarkable features are its cargo access points. The entire nose of the aircraft hinges upwards, and massive doors at the rear open to create a drive-through cargo bay the length of a bowling alley. This roll-on, roll-off capability allows vehicles to be driven on one end and off the other, dramatically speeding up loading and unloading operations. The aircraft can also kneel down on its 28-wheel landing gear to bring the cargo floor closer to the ground. The C-5 fleet has been the workhorse of American strategic airlift for over 5 decades, participating in every major conflict and humanitarian operation since the Vietnam era. To extend its service life, a significant portion of the fleet has undergone a comprehensive modernization program, re-engineering them and upgrading their avionics to become the C-5M Super Galaxy. These upgrades provide more thrust, a shorter takeoff roll, and a significantly better climb rate, ensuring this colossal aircraft will continue to serve for decades more. The C-5 Galaxy is a true giant, a flying cavern that gives the U.S. military unparalleled global reach. We have now reached the podium, and at number 3 is a true titan of Soviet engineering, the Antonov An-124 Ruslan, known to NATO as the Condor. When it first appeared in the West in 1985, it stunned observers. It was, at the time, the largest and heaviest aircraft in the world, taking the title from the C-5 Galaxy. Originally designed as a strategic military airlifter for the Soviet Air Force, the An-124 has found a remarkable second life as the world's premier commercial heavy-lift charter aircraft. The An-124 shares a similar design philosophy with the C-5 Galaxy, but on an even grander scale. It features a high-wing, T-tail configuration and is powered by 4 massive Lotarev D-18T high-bypass turbofan engines. Like the C-5, it has a hinged visor nose door and a large rear cargo ramp. allowing for drive-through loading. It also has a unique kneeling capability controlled by its robust 24-wheel landing gear to facilitate easy loading. Its cargo hold is simply immense, capable of carrying everything from locomotives and massive mining trucks to yachts and entire industrial plants. After the dissolution of the Soviet Union, the An-124 became a dominant force in the global, outsized cargo market. Companies like Antonov Airlines and Volga-Dnepr Airlines operate fleets of these giants, providing a service that few other aircraft can match. They are called upon when there is a need to move something that is simply too big or too heavy for anything else. The An-124 is a testament to the ambition of its designers, a machine built to move the impossible. It is a commercial workhorse of epic proportions and a true giant of the skies. Our runner-up, the aircraft at number 2, is a legend. It is a machine born of desperation, ambition, and controversy. It is the Hughes H-4 Hercules, known to the world, much to its creator's disdain, as the Spruce Goose. This colossal flying boat is, by wingspan, the largest aircraft ever to have flown. Its wings stretch an unbelievable 97.5 meters, wider than a football field. It was conceived during World War II by the eccentric industrialist Howard Hughes, as a solution to the threat of German U-boats, which were sinking Allied supply ships. The goal was to build a flying transport that could leapfrog the Atlantic, carrying troops and material safely above the waves. Due to wartime restrictions on strategic materials like aluminum, Hughes was forced to build his giant almost entirely out of wood, specifically a laminated birch composite, not spruce, using a special Duramold process. The result was a wooden Leviathan, powered by 8 massive Pratt and Whitney R4360 Wasp major radial engines, the same type used on the B-36 Peacemaker. The scale of the undertaking was immense, and the project was plagued by delays and cost overruns. The war ended long before the aircraft was complete, and it became a symbol of government waste in the eyes of many. Determined to prove his critics wrong, Hughes personally piloted the H-4 Hercules for its one and only flight on November 2, 1947, in Long Beach Harbor, California. It lifted off the water and flew for approximately 1 mile at an altitude of just 70 feet for about 26 seconds. It never flew again. For decades, it was kept in a climate-controlled hangar, a pristine monument to a singular vision. Though its flight was brief, the Spruce Goose secured its place in history. It remains an icon of human ambition, a wooden giant that, for a fleeting moment, defied gravity and its doubters. And now, we have arrived at the pinnacle. The #1 largest airplane ever built. A machine so vast, so powerful, it seems to belong to the realm of science fiction. This is the Antonov An-225 Mriya, the Ukrainian word for dream. There has never been, and may never be, another aircraft like it. By every measure except wingspan, length, empty weight and maximum takeoff weight, the An-225 was the undisputed king of the skies. It was a one-of-a-kind behemoth, a 6-engine colossus that stretched 84 meters long and could lift over 250,000 kilograms of cargo. The Mriya was born from the Soviet space program in the 1980s. Its original mission was to airlift the Buran space shuttle, the Soviet equivalent of the American space shuttle, on its back. It was an evolution of the An-124, with fuselage plugs inserted before and after the wings, a new center wing section with 2 additional engines, and a completely redesigned tail with twin vertical stabilizers to provide stability when carrying the bulky shuttle. The landing gear was reinforced to an incredible 32 wheels to support the immense weight. It was in every sense the An-124 taken to its absolute extreme. After the collapse of the Soviet Union and its space program, the Mriya sat dormant for years. It was then painstakingly refurbished and resurrected as the world's ultimate commercial super-heavy cargo transporter. It could carry loads that were physically impossible for any other aircraft, such as single-piece items like 150-ton power plant generators or enormous wind turbine blades. Its arrival at any airport was an event, drawing massive crowds of awestruck spectators. Tragically, this unique, irreplaceable giant was destroyed at its home base at Hostomel Airport during the conflict in Ukraine in 2022. The Mriya, the dream, may be gone, but its legend as the largest aircraft to ever fly is eternal. Our journey through the heavens has come to an end. From the elegant TriStar to the tragic and magnificent Mriya, we have witnessed an extraordinary procession of giants. Each one, a pinnacle of the technology and the ambition of its time. They are more than just machines, they are the physical embodiment of our species' relentless desire to go further, faster, and higher. They are symbols of our ability to overcome immense challenges, to manipulate the very laws of physics to lift incredible weights from the surface of our planet and send them soaring through the air. The engineering behind these leviathans is nothing short of miraculous. The complex calculations, the innovative materials, the sheer power required to make these creations fly is a testament to human ingenuity. Whether built for commerce, for conflict, or for the singular purpose of carrying another craft to the edge of space, each has pushed the boundaries of what is possible. They have connected our world, defended nations, and enabled the creation of other technological marvels. They are the titans that have shaped the modern age, their shadows stretching across the globe. These aircraft have captured our imaginations and inspired awe in all who have seen them. They remind us that with vision, determination, and collaboration, even the most audacious dreams can take flight. Now, I turn it over to you. Which of these incredible giants of the sky is your favorite? Was it the strange and wonderful beluga, the historic spruce goose, or the undisputed king, the AN-225 Maria? Please share your thoughts in the comments below.